Good morning. On this episode of Cold Brews and Hot Takes, we're going to break down everything that happened in week 5 for your NFL fantasy football teams, from the goods, the bads, the hots, the colds. We got it all. So I'll see you guys on the other side.
You're watching Cold Brews and Hot Takes, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone out there. I hope everyone had a wonderful Sunday. I know I did. I hope you did. It was nice and breezy over here. The sun's gone. The sun is gone. I'm looking outside my window right now, and there's no sun. It's been overcast and windy and rainy. And let me tell you, all you Northerners, I watch the football games. I see all you Northerners in your hoodies and you're chilly. It's cold. Screw you. Screw you. Not everything is glorious here in sunny Florida. When you have Christmas on the beach and it's 90 degrees, it's not as good as you guys think. It's hot, and it's nice once in a while to get this overcast. That being said, I had to get that off my chest because it's such a wonderful gloomy day, and I hope nothing is gloomy about your fantasy football matchups. I hope you all won. I know I had some wins. I know it was 85 degrees this weekend. You were talking about 81 degrees of yes. Yeah, I was happy. I was excited. For once, I get the nice weather. When the sun goes away, I have an idea. When I become president, I have a genius idea. Everyone's going to vote for me. I promise. We're not going to get into it, but just imagine retractable roofs on stadiums, but for Florida, literally. Like, I'm going to build that. But that being said, I am going to get you through this week 5 recap rundown. I'm going to get you through all of the ins and outs of this. But before I do that, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Fantasy Now Plus. Make sure you subscribe to our sister channel, our partnership channel, our friends over there at the Fins Talk Sports Network. We're live over there every single day of the week, just as much as we're live over here. You can follow them at Fins Talk Sports Network as well. Follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter. Oh, Twitter's bad. We're not on Twitter. Fantasy Plus Now. And of course, for all of your news, fantasynowplus.com, where you'll find our rankings, articles, and more. It's week 5, man. Like, we're getting into week 6. Times are going fast. Like I said, the leaves are turning. If you live in the north, your leaves are going from green to orange. Although that's the rumor. I've never seen that. I heard that happens. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of the season. Who's real? Who's not real? We're trying to figure this picture out. Last year at this time, Lamar Jackson was the quarterback 1 after week 5. He finished quarterback 1 of the entire season, up until week 17. All mine go to week 17. We're going to have a lot of turnover. So the people that you see now in the top 12, when you go on the Fantasy Pros or you check your favorite site or you go on to Sleeper and you check the leaderboards, we're going to have a lot of turnover. Through weeks 1 through 5, with the running backs, we had 5 people get out of the top 12, and we had 5 people get into the top 12 at the very end. The only people that stayed the entire way from weeks 1 through 5 to the end of the season: Kamara, Henry, Barkley, Kyron, Cook, Hubbard, Connor. We had Gibbs, Bajan, Achane, Jacobs, Chase Brown all jump into the top 12. So that's a huge, it's almost half the list turnover. Same thing with the receivers. Nico started off hot. He got hurt. Things happen. We need to move forward as a fantasy manager and figure out what's going to happen. You can't sit there and go, wow, all my players are in the top 12. Wow, I have this player and he's just going to take me to the promised land. No, people do get hurt. People do move up. People do move down. So the top 12 now are not going to be the top 12 at the end of the season. For example, look at this. Stephon Diggs was a top 12 receiver before the injury. Injuries do happen. He falls out of favor. You have someone like Terry McLaurin or Lab McConkey step up there and finish top 12. So just don't get comfortable with your roster. If you're 5-0 or you're 4-1 and you think you're on top of the world and you're going to coast into the playoffs, you may coast into the playoffs, but that doesn't mean you're going to be strong in the playoffs. I see it every year. I see it every year. I do it every year, not coast. But in my home league, it's a running joke where I start out 0-3, 0-4, 1-4. And I'm like, guys, I'm the one who's on YouTube talking about fantasy. I'm the one who's on Fantasy Pros rankings, and you guys are crushing me like a grape every year. But it's the moves I make, and it's the attention to detail, and it's seeing trends and following those trends. And then I build myself back up. And then I see all the 5-0 teams, all the 4-1 teams who don't make moves, who think they drafted perfect and they don't have to do anything else. They fall down because they're not paying attention to the moves. They think they're set. Not going to get in. You know what? I will get into it. When somebody, whether it be the government, your mom, your dad, or anyone, just gives you money to live every single day, you're set. You got your PlayStation, you got your TV, you got your air conditioning, you got your Wi-Fi. You're just getting a free check once a month and you're good to go. There's no aspirations to get better. When you're sitting pretty at 5-0 and you think you're on top of the world, you really get comfortable up there. And that's where I see a lot of fantasy managers falter. So it's important to keep on going, keep on making these moves, because I promise you, things will change. Things have changed. Things are already changing. We had some injuries this week. Nothing major, a couple big ones, but Kyler Murray left the game for a blink of an eye. He got hit in the head. He got sacked. The defender hit him in the head again after the play. Kyler was walking off the field, and I'm going, what's going on with Kyler? What's happening? Turned out to be a foot issue, but he came back in and finished the game. Keep monitoring Kyler Murray. Rushing is a huge part of his game. If we were talking real NFL football right now, I would easily say bench this kid. He's clearly not getting it. He clearly doesn't care. He clearly doesn't have a rapport with his offensive players. He just does. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Kyler Murray at this point. But keep an eye out on that foot. Mario Hampton left the game in the second half with an ankle injury, and he was seen with the dreaded walking boot. The walking boot of death. I'm sure we'll be talking about Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal tomorrow at noon with Justin and Charlene as they break down the waivers. But not good news if you're an Omari Hampton fan or manager. So that's always been a thing with the Chargers, man. Since the dawn of time, Chargers are always injured. Rico Dowdle had a career game, also injured his knee. Antonio Gibson left the game with a knee injury. Some might say good for Trevion Henderson. Some might say we don't root for injuries. Be that person. Do not root for injuries. And Darius Slayton left the game with a hamstring injury. So that's less people to throw to in New York. Justin Herbert led the team in rushing yards. Yeah, I mean, when you don't have a running back, it's hard to do. All right, so what I've normally done on this show is I just read you the top scores, and I find that very, you can find that yourself. It's very boring. Anyone can go do that. There was a lot of scores this week. If I did that, the entire show would just be me listing off everything I'm reading off of Fantasy Pros. And that's not how it's going to be from now on. I'm changing it a little bit, so keep up with the process. As I said, the whole point of this podcast or this stream or this whole message of this week is change. We all have to do it to get better or to improve within life or your fantasy rosters. I blue skied out something yesterday. I don't blue sky things out. I don't ever. I try to. I don't like to engage. It's just a cesspool of people throwing their opinions out, and nothing matters. It's fake. It doesn't matter. Social media is fake. Does not matter. But I did blue sky something out. Baker Mayfield, if he's not the MVP, he's not the number one. If I go to Hard Rock, I don't have my phone on me, not allowed to, per the bosses at the Fantasy Now brass. But if I have a computer right in front of me. If I had those odds in front of me, Baker Mayfield should be the leader in the clubhouse for the MVP. I'm curious. Do you guys think that's true? Do you guys think there's someone better than Baker Mayfield? Because I can't find them on the road in Seattle, where it's tough to play, where the whole team, not just the Buccaneers, but the Seahawks, didn't have a clue what time they were playing until Friday because of some baseball game. Who watches baseball? Because of some baseball game, everything was up in the air. And when they're playing, is it going to be 3:30? Is it going to be 2:30? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 4:30? Is it going to be 5? There was many times thrown out there, and no one really knew. You add that onto the fact that the Buccaneers traveled to the West Coast, which, if you know anything about time zones, for some reason, professional athletes have a hard time adjusting to the time zone. They just can't do it. And on top of that, Todd Bowles' career record in October with the Buccaneers, he was 3-10. Everybody counted the Buccaneers out. Everybody did. I did. Everybody did. Nobody thought the Buccaneers were going to go in there and win this football game because of past history, because of everything. The odds were against them. It was stacked against the Buccaneers. It was stacked against Baker Mayfield. Well, Baker Mayfield said, screw you. Screw you, Mr. Sam Darnold and Seattle Seahawks. Screw you, 12s. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to balls out and I'm going to throw it to Emeka Mbuka as time not expires, but a minute to go on the clock. And we're gonna take this lead. We're gonna win this football game. We're gonna kick a field goal at the end of the game too. And they did that. He went 29 for 33, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns in Seattle against a stout defense. No, they're not the Legion of Boom, but they are Seattle, and they are very good on defense this year. Yes, it was a very high-scoring, entertaining game. It was probably the best game of the week, and nothing's gonna outdo it. Not tonight's game, not any other game. This was the best game of the week, and Baker Mayfield performed. All this without his help. Without his help. JRS said, Danny Dimes for MVP. Hey, I'm not against that. Matter of fact, if you've watched the show long enough, I think I was the only one calling for it. But I do want to say this. Yes, he's up there as well. Up there with Baker? I don't think so. Since 2023, and I've thrown this stat out there many times, but as I'm on Blue Sky, I see a lot of people skeeting out things that I've already said years ago. I saw somebody say, Garrett Wilson breakout year. Okay, pal. Thanks for watching the show. He's been broken out. Baker Mayfield, since 2023, has led all quarterbacks in passing touchdowns. All of them. All of them. He has 74 since 2023. Goff has 73. Lamar has 71. Love has 61. Burrow 60, Josh Allen 59. He doesn't get the respect, and I don't know what it is. I'll never understand it. And you think about everything that he's doing it with or without, you would say. He didn't have Wirfs, the best left tackle, the best offensive lineman in football. Didn't have him for the first couple weeks. Didn't have Chris Godwin back. Still doesn't have Chris Godwin back. Say what you want to say about Godwin. He's not fully healthy. I don't know why he's playing. I know why he's playing, because they have nobody else. Lost Jalen McMillan before the season started. Oh, who's that? I don't know. The rookie who caught 7 touchdowns last year? That guy? If he was playing on New York, or if he was playing in Chicago and a rookie scored 7 touchdowns, we'd be talking about him. People forget about Jalen McMillan. He lost 2 guards already. Cody Mach on IR. Luke Godeke, can't say his name. Right tackle, lost him on IR. They're putting this team together with Band-Aids and duct tape. And Baker Mayfield still going out there, no excuses, still tossing the ball around. Yes, it helps. They drafted Emeka Mbuka. It helps that he's the best rookie receiver in the league and he's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, that helps. But think about all the players that the Buccaneers lost, and Baker Mayfield's still able to do this week in, week out. Lost Mike Evans. What are we doing here? So I truly think that this man is the MVP of the season, and honestly could be for your fantasy teams. He is down on the season, like passing wise, stats wise. He went from 71% completion percentage last year. He's down to 59.7. He's throwing the ball. He has less interceptions, which is weird. Less interceptions this year. way worse completion percentage. I don't understand it. His yards per attempt are down from 7.9 to 6.5. Everything is down with Baker except for his production on the field, which, hey, man, if you got to just throw the ball less accurate and less down the field to be more productive for football and for your fantasy teams, I'm all for it, man. His next coming weeks, he's got San Francisco, Detroit, New Orleans, a bye, and then New England. I like Baker Mayfield going forward. He's we all know this. He's a set it and forget it kind of guy. But I just want to throw that out there. Week 5, October 6th, 2025, clip this. Baker Mayfield should win the MVP this year. When it comes down to it, when we're in December, January, he should win it, but he won't win it because he plays in Tampa and he's not Josh Allen and he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not one of those top guys, but he is a top guy. He just doesn't get the credit for it. And that's speaking for me, who we got famous for trashing Baker Mayfield in 2023. Got to keep on evolving and keep on changing your ways, man. You see someone's doing well and get on that. It's not about being bandwagon or jumping on the hot thing. It's realizing who's actually good and who's changed and who's gotten better. Sam Darnold, we could say the same for him. He's on the other side of the football. He's balling out, throwing it to JSN. People were downgrading JSN this year because of Sam Darnold. People didn't think JSN could do what he's doing today. People are eating a lot of L's this year on JSN. Yes, he was highly touted as a young rookie, a breakout season. He had that last season. But because of Sam Darnold's involvement, he was being drafted below people like, I don't know, Lab McConkey, which is kind of crazy. But JSN on the other side, Sam Darnold, they're doing great things over there in Seattle as well. We'll get to the running back situation and the iced coffee situation of this podcast. Sharps, Kenneth Walker, told y'all, Buccaneers shutting that crap down. Does Dak have better weapons than Baker right now? It depends on George Pickens and Jake Ferguson, Javonte Williams. Oh, I didn't even say that. Bucky was out. Bucky missed the game. They're all pro, not all pro, but they're Pro Bowl running back. Bucky Irvin was also out and might miss a couple more weeks after this. So Baker's doing it with so many backups. That's very difficult, JRS, because Dak, we know Dak's elite. We know Dak can sling it. I think people are just now, for some reason, even though it's been since 2023, people are just now jumping on the Baker bandwagon, whereas Dak's been elite for a very long time. So we're expecting him to do this. Does he have better weapons? Currently, no, because I have Emeka Mbuka over Pickens. Ferguson's way ahead of, obviously, Kate Otten. But if you look at Jake Ferguson as a second target, you would look at Chris Godwin as the second target in Tampa right now currently. And when Chris Godwin gets right, he's better. But that offensive line for Tampa is destroyed. Like it's completely destroyed. And in Dallas, not sure how their O-line situation is doing over there. But yeah, I would say they're equal, I guess, as in who has the talent around them. But man, that's a good question. That's a good question. Does Dak have better weapons than Baker right now? It's up in the air. It's up to your interpretation, I would say. Justin Fields. Man, see, this is why I stay off of social media. And I'm being 1000% honest with you guys, like I always am. This guy, I was about to blue ski out. Everyone can score points against Dallas unless you're busting Fields. Because, man, this guy had a terrible opening to this game. I'm sitting there going, it's 13 nuts, 17. What's going They only have 3 points. We're going almost into halftime. What's going on with this New York Jets offense? I heard Bustin Fields was elite. I heard Bustin Fields is this and that. Well, Bustin Fields actually did do well. Thankfully, he scored 25.9 fantasy points. He's the quarterback 5 currently on the week. We still have Mahomes and Lawrence to play. I don't think Lawrence is going to pass him. Mahomes has a shot. Back-to-back weeks with Justin Fields, over 25 points. Back-to-back weeks of Justin Fields, over 25 points. But they did play Dallas, and they played Miami. If you're going to score 25 points at the quarterback position in back-to-back weeks, I would assume you played Dallas and you played Miami. So let's not get too excited on Bustin Fields just yet. In those 2 games against Dallas and Miami, he had 509 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 107 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. Fields is not back. Bustin Fields played Miami in Dallas. Week 6, he gets Denver. Week 7, he gets Carolina. Week 8, Cincinnati. Week 9 on a bye. Week 10, good luck, pal. You're playing Cleveland. Take that schedule for however you want to take it. Denver's been up and down. Do I trust Justin Fields against Denver? I'm going to have to, and I think you should too because of the rushing upside. 107 yards rushing on the ground in 2 weeks against 2 bad defenses is fine. What's he going to do against Denver? I assume he's going to run a lot more and pass a lot less because he's not going to have those passing lanes like he did against Dallas and Miami. I'm going to say that until I'm done with the segment, guys. So get used to it. Carolina, Tua had a great game against them. Are they a easy defense to play? They're probably middle of the road. Cincinnati, we know their struggles, but man, weeks 9 and 10 for your fantasy team, Fields is unusable because obviously week 9 a bye, week 10 he plays Cleveland, and I'm not playing that game. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Starting Justin Fields against Cleveland is a stupid thing to do. But his pass catcher, like I said, I saw this blue ski. I saw it. Breakout season, Garrett Wilson. When did he break? You mean his rookie season when he broke out? When you mean his sophomore? He's been broken out, guys. I've been saying on this show, I've been saying on this airwaves, I've been saying it since OUS. Garrett Wilson, I say it every single week. Garrett Wilson's a superstar. Say it with me, guys. Garrett Wilson is a superstar. He's averaging 10.3 targets a game in his last 3, over 70 receiving yards in every game except for week 2, where Bustin did leave the game with a concussion, where Bustin had a 1.1 passer rating before that, I might add. He's had a touchdown in every single game as well, except for that Buffalo game week 2. Yes, we all know Garrett Wilson is the elite receiver in New York. I don't understand why people are kind of slow on this. I don't understand, or people watching. I say this every week too, and I'll say it every week until it's not true. Top 3 in targets since entering the NFL. Not since last year, not since the year before, not since week 6 of whatever year. Since his rookie season, he's top 3 in targeted. So you hear me? You got me all broken my brain. Targets, top 3 targets since entering the league, and that's going to continue. Can anyone name me? I'm not a Garrett Wilson hater. Stop it, Justin. Stop it. This guy. Listen, I know you're trolling, Justin. I can't wait to see you Wednesday, buddy. I can't wait to see you. I know you're trolling, but I don't think anyone's been a bigger Garrett Wilson fan than me ever. But I will say this. Can anyone, and again, I'm going to do another Blues Clues Nick Jr. thing where you fill in the blank. Garrett Wilson leads the Jets in targets, obviously. Obviously, we know this. Can you tell me who the next wide receiver is on this list and how many targets that said wide receiver has? I'll leave it to you. You don't know? You don't know? You didn't know it was Josh Reynolds at 9? You didn't know that? Josh Reynolds has 9 targets in 4 games. And Garrett Wilson gets that in his sleep. Mason Taylor is second in targets, the tight end, the rookie tight end with 28. Breece Hall has 24 targets, third on the team. Isaiah Davis and Josh Reynolds are fourth with 9. There's no other show in town. It's Garrett Wilson or nobody. That could be a good thing or a bad thing in this situation for this certain wide receiver who is elite, who hasn't broken out, who's already been broken out, will remain elite. And guys, I recommend if there's anyone out there that doubts Justin Fields or doubts this whole breakout, go get him, go buy him, because he's going to continue to do this. He's done it his entire career with Zach Wilson, with Tyrod Taylor, week 3, with Justin Fields. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. It's Garrett Wilson. and nobody else. Theo Johnson. I saw that up there. JRS. Am I saying that right? Is it juniors? JRS? Listen, Theo Johnson is the tight end 3 this week. Theo Johnson scored touchdowns this week. That's what this means, people. 21.3 fantasy points. I know people are going to get excited for Theo Johnson. I know he's going to be a top waiver ad, and I don't blame you. If you're struggling at the tight end position and you need somebody, I still tell you don't get this guy. Let me fix that. Don't spend a lot of fab on this guy. 3 touchdowns with Jackson Dart in the last 2 games. 12 targets. He's caught 9 of those 12 targets. That's great. It's great. That's awesome. Only for 50 yards on the ground, in the air. He seems to be very touchdown dependent. That could be a good or bad thing. When they get to the red zone, think about it. Who else do they have? Wandell's not a red zone threat. Darius Slayton's out with a hamstring injury. Shocking. I know, shocking. Bellinger didn't pan out. Theo Johnson's all that's left. You could say Cam Scatterboo all you want. You could be a Cam Scatterboo believer all you want. That's fine. He's not the option. We saw it. We saw it clear as day this week. It's Theo Johnson. So if you really want a touchdown dependent tight end, or you have a tight end on bye, and you think that you're tight end, you're just looking for a guy who can get you 6, who can get you in the end zone, then Theo Johnson's your guy, because he's going to be that top option in the red zone. Just how often do we think they're going to get inside the red zone? They played New Orleans this week. New Orleans isn't a slouch. They held Josh Allen to limited success when they played a couple weeks ago. I want to see more of this. I want to see more before I add Theo Johnson, because I don't want to be a situation where you're adding a tight end where they're all semi-average. Every tight end is semi-average. None of them are spectacular. Travis Kelce is playing tonight, and he is touchdown dependent these days. So a lot of tight ends are touchdown dependent. If you didn't get the McBrides of the world or Jake Ferguson's of the world, you're kind of screwed. You're kind of hoping for these guys, unless you picked up the next guy I'm going to talk about. And if you didn't, you're too late. He's already gone. And I'm going to eat so much crow. Justin, where's my crow? Do we have crow? Thanks, JR. Yes, McBride failed. Yeah, because Kyler failed us. Theo over Mason Taylor? Yeah, I would take Theo over Mason Taylor. I would. Woody Mark, shake my head. Yeah, some people fell for that trap. I was one of them. Darren Waller, Mr. 17 catch on the season. Mr. I said on this show, if Darren Waller catches more than 17 balls, I forgot what I would do. So I'm out of it. I'm out of that bet. I don't have to worry about it. Nobody remembers it. If someone can clip it and tell me what I have to do, I'll do it. But as far as I'm concerned, that bet was never made. That statement was never made. I've been a Darren Waller truther my entire career. What are you guys talking about? Darren Waller, week 1 versus Carolina, 3 catches, 27 yards, right? 2 touchdowns. All right. He scored 2 touchdowns, but Tyreek went down. It is what it is. Like, it's his first game back. They want to make an impression. Whatever. Like, I wasn't buying it. When everybody was buying it, I was still like, come on. Let's get back to reality. In 2025, a lot of us don't live in reality. I promise you that. Now, I wasn't going to get into the Darren Waller reality. Didn't think it was a thing. 18.8 fantasy points this week. Scored another touchdown. But man, he's being used all over the field. Middle of the field, sidelines, end zone, red zone, first down, second down, third down. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. This is I went from one extreme to he's not going to catch 17 balls to my next extreme where he's like, yep, Darren Waller, he's Jonnu Smith 2.0, but better. Like, I'm going crazy right now. So I gotta temper my expectations. He had 5 catches, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. But I love the fact that he's being used all over the field. And they need it with Tyreek out, with that offense struggling, with the big body. Like, I believe he needs Tua, needs that big body person Waddle's not that guy. I swear on my life. Oh my God. I almost forgot about this. What's the run? If you watch this show consistently, you know the running gag. Jalen Waddle runs a route. Jalen Waddle catches the football. Jalen Waddle gets tackled. Jalen Waddle rolls around. Jalen Waddle gets medical staff. Jalen Waddle gets limped to the sideline. Jalen Waddle goes to the blue tent. Jalen Waddle's back in the game. Repeat. I'm over it. I'm over it. It happened this week, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm over it. So this gives to a target that's not going to do all the soccer stuff that we see Jalen Waddle do on every single catch. Yes, Justin, I went there. The soccer stuff. Malik Washington was disappointed. Disappointed, yes, he was. And Justin Bowerly, if you watched him on the waiver show, he called it. He didn't think Malik Washington was going to be anything, and he wasn't. And you know what? It's going to be a trend. He's not. If you picked him up on waivers, you can cut him. It's okay. He's not going to be a factor in the NFL for the Miami Dolphins this season. Stop trying to make Malik a thing. We're trying. It's just not working. You don't find this Darren Waller clip. I don't want to do it. Whatever it is, I don't want to do it. I'll do it, but I don't want to do it. All right. Who sucked this week? Who had for those, this segment's called the iced coffee segment, because if you ever had iced coffee in your life and you think it's good, I want you to try cold brew. It's only 20 cents more, or maybe 15 cents more. This is the way to drink. I still go to Dunkin' or Starbucks or whatever coffee house you want to go to, and I hear people order iced coffee every day. Guys, there's an option called cold brew. I'm telling you, just pay the extra 10 cents. Your life will change. And when they give you iced coffee instead of cold brew, you'll definitely taste the difference. I'm telling you guys. So if anyone's watching, please change your ways, get better. But we're going to the iced coffee section of the podcast where iced coffee is not good. It's not, Justin. Try cold. I'm just telling you. People don't know the difference. I don't understand why people don't know the difference. But these are the guys that stunk this week. There's not that many like bad, surprising ones. Like not crazy. Kyler Murray went out here, laid an egg, 15.3. I guess that's better than his average. Well, that's not better than his average, but it is what it is. Bryce Young continues to struggle, just 13 fantasy points versus Miami. Everybody goes nuts against Miami. I thought Bryce Young would have a better game, but only 13 fantasy points there. But the biggest takeaway was Drake May last night. Cold brew was like 2% better. Are you crazy? Man, let me tell you, I'm the kind of guy where usually when I order something like a drive-through or it's anything in life, like even at a restaurant, and it's not good or it's not what I ordered, I'll usually just suck it up and just deal with it because I've worked in the hospitality industry. I've been a cook, been a dishwasher, I've been a server. I've done all that. And I understand you're supposed to pay for what you get. But when I get a iced coffee, when I clearly ask for cold brew, you better damn believe it. I park my car and I go inside the establishment. And I go, hey, man, do you not know the difference? You work in a coffee house. You should know the difference. That's the one thing I'll ever go back inside for. Listen, Ryder. Oh, my gosh. Again, I've said this story many times, Ryder, but I'll say it again. On Hillsborough Avenue here in Tampa, I'll name it. I don't care. Hillsborough Avenue, Dunkin'. I went in there. I used to work across the street. There was a Kia dealership. I used to work at that Kia dealership across the street. I would go into that Dunkin'. I would go there. I would work at Kia on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I would go into that Dunkin' on Tuesdays and Fridays in the morning. One time, it was the last time I ever went. I go, hey, man, cold brew. I get it black. And then I ask for cream on the side, no sugar. I like cream on the side, no sugar. Cold brew. Hey, can I get cold brew? Blah, blah. She looks at me dead ass in the face. I'm sorry for the language. I promise I'll clean it up. She looks at me dead in the face and goes, do you want that cold brew iced or hot? I said, cancel my order. I left. Dunkin's off. The worst. The worst of the worst. Bottom of the barrel. Dunkin is the Cam Ward of fantasy football. Cam Ward, Drake May both stunk it up. Cam Ward, but he won the game. Cam Ward won the game, scored 9 fantasy points. Calvin Ridley did get more involved. But again, Cam Ward is not is not a fantasy quarterback for you this season. I think you know that by now. If you roster him in Dynasty, this is what we need to talk about. If you roster Cam Ward in Dynasty, you need to be worried. He looks decent out there as far as quarterback play. I think he looks decent. I'm not a scout. I'm not an evaluation of talent. I'm just telling you, he puts the ball where they need to be. It's just guys are dropping the ball out there. I saw A.O. Manor drop a ball. I saw Calvin Ridley, I believe, drop a ball. Um, he's getting the ball where they needs to be at certain times, but his receiving help is not really helping him. It's more of like hurting him. And when you surround him around average talent like this is gonna happen. I know I just went off on Baker and how he does it with no talent. Baker's just a boss. Baker's gonna bake. Cam Ward's not at that level yet. Baker was at Cam's level at one point. After Baker's rookie season in Cleveland, Baker went down the tubes. Sam Darnold, Gino revived his career for a little bit. I'm not saying we're dead on Cam Ward. I'm not saying Cam Ward should be thrown away in the trash, but I am worried about your dynasty teams if you have Cam Ward on them. Nobody's buying him. Nobody wants him. There's no market for him. There's nothing appealing about Cam Ward. When you're a quarterback, when you're an NFL quarterback, and you're scoring, you're averaging 8 fantasy points a game. Even Anthony Richardson did better than that, and he's trash. He's hot garbage. Dylan Gabriel came out this week in an overseas game against a tough Vikings defense and scored 16.1 fantasy points. Who does he have? Jerry Jeudy, he's still dropping footballs. David Njoku, yeah, he went nuts yesterday. But who does Dylan Gabriel have? And he came out there and overperformed. Whereas someone like Cam Ward, first pick of the draft, underperforms week in, week out. I'm not saying go out there and trade for Dylan Gabriel in all your dynasty leagues. But what I'm saying is even quarterbacks with less, I wouldn't say success, less pieces around them, find a way, especially in garbage time. I understand there was no garbage time for Cam Ward. He led that team down the field and they won the football game. Good for them. But man, when in a winning effort and you still only score 9 fantasy points, that tells me the Titans have a lot of work to get people around him. And I'm genuinely worried about, I wouldn't say Bryce Young 2.0. Because he looks better than Bryce. If you took Bryce, not just side by side, not just in person, but if you watch their game tape, just them throwing the ball. Don't look at where the ball's going. Don't look at the actual result of the play, which sounds silly. But if you look at the quarterback, statue, ability, feet, everything, Cam Ward to me is superior to Bryce Young. That's just me though. But Bryce Young scored more fantasy points. But again, he's been in that offense for a while. And plus he has Canellis there. People want to downplay Dave Canellis. He's a good he's a good football coach for the offense. He helped. He started the turnaround with Baker. We expected him to do that with Bryce Young. It's not there yet. Not there yet. But it will be. Derrick Henry, man. Are we selling him? Can't sell him. He's worthless. It's not worth. He would kill me. Like, let's get that clear. He would destroy me. But for fantasy, 11.9 fantasy points per game. They're behind in games. We've said this. I've been saying this since 2021. When you're behind in games, Derrick Henry is not only just unusable, he's unrosterable. In games where they're behind, this dude's always like the running back 30 or 40 because he's not catching the ball. He's on the sideline watching Justice Hill and other pass catching running backs do his job or do the job that he should be doing, but he's not a pass catcher. That's not his game. He's a Hall of Famer, elite, definitely one of the best to ever do it. But in 2025, when the Ravens are down bad and down bad often, there's no game script that can save Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry needs to be ahead. His best game of the season was week 1, 29.2 fantasy points because they were ahead on Buffalo early and they were running the ball on them early. When you get behind KC down 2 scores early, or you get behind like yesterday against the Texans early, It's just simple math. He's going to get phased out of the offense. I don't know what you can get for Derrick Henry. I don't know if Derrick Henry even has a slight of value left. I know people in Dynasty that are still holding on because they think it's offensive to take a second round pick for Derrick Henry. Let me tell you something, guys. In Dynasty, that's his value, and you'd be lucky to get a second round pick for him right now. Right now, currently. Especially in this era where we treat Dynasty game to game rather than in portions and portions. We just, in one game, someone skyrockets, in one game, someone can plummet. In the day in Dynasty where values are here today, gone tomorrow, Derrick Henry is one of those guys who's dead in the water. I don't know what you're going to do to save this. For a redraft, he was your first round pick. This is almost worse than what would you rather? Here's a good question. Here's a question, chat. Would you rather have your first round pick on IR, like Joe Burrow in a super flex league, if you took him first round? Or would you rather your first round pick continue to get you 9 points every time you plug him in? I'd rather have my first round pick on IR. So at least he's not tanking me week to week because you feel obligated to start him. I'm telling you guys, he's not startable right now. He's not. He's not. You can find someone better. And they're out there. For that, you need to go to Tuesday at noon for Charlene and Justin because they're going to break that down. But man, Derrick Henry just doesn't look right, and it's because of the offense, and they're not going to look right until they get leads. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And some other stinky guys this week: Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet won the matchup, 11.8 fantasy points. I forgot who I took Wednesday. Kenneth Walker, 9.6. But it went the way I told you it was going to go. I remember on that show last Wednesday, I told Justin, I don't want to pick. Bucks are going to shut both of them down. Kind of what happened. Double digits for Zach Charbonnet. We will continue to monitor that as it goes on. Just food for thought. Zach Charbonnet has outscored Kenneth Walker this week and the week before and in week 1. I'm not saying Zach Charbonnet's better. Just follow the trends. Zach Charbonnet's getting more opportunities in key spots. He scored the touchdown. Kenneth Walker did not. But both were very, very underwhelming. Wide receivers. I'll go quick on this one, guys, because we got to get to the Monday night game. But wide receivers. Not a lot of terrible ones except for Mr. QJ, Mr. Quentin Johnston. 6.9 fantasy points. But, guys, he fumbled that ball early. It was brutal. This game got, out of hand quick. I'm not scared or worried for Quentin Johnston yet. Notice how I said yet. Guys, what do we go over the very first portion of this show? Players go in and out of the top 12 all of the time. 5 or 6 of the top 12 receivers now that we see may fall out due to either injury or they were hot early on or teams now know how to cover a person. I'm not saying this happened to Quentin Johnston at all. I'm not. But what I'm saying is do not be surprised if he does fall out of favor. You have to understand there's still Keenan Allen there. There's still Ladd McConkey there. Omari Hampton just got hurt. That stinks. But they still have other options out there they can throw the ball to and spread it around. Not every week is going to be a 23-point game. I just hope every week isn't 6.9. And I hope he doesn't regress back to what he was back from last year and the year before. I'm not worried about him. You shouldn't be either. Chris Godwin, I am worried about. I am. I've always been worried about Chris Godwin. 5.6 fantasy points again. Just doesn't look 100% out there. I wish they would have rested him longer. Early reports were he wasn't going to be back till about week 14, 15. That was all the reports. And I live here locally, and they rushed him back. If you don't think they rushed him back, then you don't know football. You don't know anything. Sorry. I don't know why they rushed him back, but they did. And now this is the result, what we're getting. We're getting this Chris Godwin. He does not look 100% healthy. I hope when Big Mike comes back, they give him less snaps. They let him rest a little bit more because he's clearly not ready. You should not be starting Chris Godwin in any of your lineups moving forward. And for the tight ends, man, they all suck. I don't know what to tell you, man. Brock Bowers didn't play. Trey McBride, that's a Kyler Murray problem, and I hate to put that on Kyler, but Trey McBride just not being involved. Good morning, Jamie. 9.1 fantasy points, his first non-double-digit game this season, 12.2 the week before. He's just not scoring touchdowns. He's not getting involved. TJ Hawkinson, same situation, 9.8 fantasy points. We drafted both of these guys to be a top 12 or tight end, and they're, McBride's doing it. Hawkinson, not so much. It's just a very volatile position. AJ Barner can come out and score 24.3 fantasy points. Not going to talk about it because it's just a 1 week thing, but that's the tight end position. That is the tight end position as a whole. Jake Tongas, Mason Taylor, it's just up and down. You did miss the whole show. Jamie, it was a banger. I'm telling you, go back, check it out. I complained about the sun and cold brew, and the differences. I educated the crowd on iced coffee versus cold brew. That was the most important takeaway. Sean, if you're watching, clip that, because I don't think people are educated on cold brew versus iced coffee. All right. The nightcap. We have one game left. Kansas City versus the Jacksonville Duval. No, there's 2 games tonight. Is it a doubleheader? Did I miss that? Let me check that out. I thought there was only 1 game left. Justin said no. What does that mean, Joe? Justin? How many Monday night games are there in week? He's going to say no. I hate when your boss micromanages you when you're doing the show. There's only 1, Justin. I knew this. Oh, he's not going to clip my cold brew segment. You better. That's a demand. Straight from. There's only 1. I know there is. All right. Here's the players to start tonight. We have Kansas City versus Duval. Patrick Mahomes has been a revolution this year. Every single game, 20 points, 22.4 fantasy points per game. He is a set it and forget it again, even without Rashee Rice there, even with Travis Kelce being a shell of himself, even with Xavier Worthy being questionable for tonight's game, not looking like he's going to play. Patrick Mahomes is a must start. He has the 3rd highest scramble rate on the year, averaging 5.9 yards on the ground. He is rushing the ball more than he has in the past. You like to see it from Patrick Mahomes. Nobody throws the ball more in the red zone than Patrick Mahomes, and we're seeing the result of this. 4 touchdowns last week. I think they're going to continue that success this week, even without Worthy. Rashee Rice comes back very soon, guys. Very, very soon. And you see the smile? I can't contain the smile. I can't contain the smile because Rashee Rice has been my guy. And we're going to see a true elite receiver come back and help Mahomes be even more elite than he is now. Is this going to be a Taylor Swift big game? Listen, I got news on Taylor Swift that is in this household. I won't share it because my daughter will be embarrassed. But let's say someone fell off the Taylor Swift fan club. And I don't know why. She wouldn't talk about it. She said this album is mid. And that's coming from my 15-year-old beautiful daughter. And she's a huge Swiftie. Or she was. New to me. She fell off. I don't know what happened. I don't know why. She said this album is mid. I'm not the demographic. I don't know. I like the song 22. That's my favorite Taylor Swift song. Travis Etienne, running back 17 on the season. But obviously he didn't play so far. A lot of people played above him. He has 16.7 fantasy points per game. Put that in perspective. Saquon Barkley is averaging 16.1 fantasy points per game. So Travis Etienne has a better points per game, but is ranked below Saquon because he has not played yet. Travis Etienne has been unstoppable. Not to the top level, but to last year. Yes, Travis Etienne is putting people on notice. I am still the guy here in Jacksonville. They traded away Tank Bigsby, who we all drafted to be a player in this offense. I remember week 1 in Vegas, Tank Bigsby's over-under rushing yards in Vegas was like 58.5, and I didn't take it. My buddy, Dirtbag Dave, looked at it and laughed and goes, people think Tank Bigsby's going to be a thing? I said, yeah, he's going to be a big thing. We all drafted him, and he just laughed and walked away. And that was that. That was the end of the Tank Bigsby saga. Listen to Dirtbag Dave. I'm probably, he's smarter than all of us. Anyway, they traded him away. They have Tootin there, but honestly, let's be honest. ETN is still the guy to go. The Chiefs are tough against the run, though. They only give up 21.7 points per game to the running backs. I would watch Travis Etienne, but he's a must start, of course. Brenton Strange as well as your tight end. If you need a tight end or you're thinking about Travis Kelce or Strange, I'm going to go Strange on this one. He's a tight end 23 currently because he hasn't played yet. He's averaging 9.3 fantasy points per game, which is above Travis Kelce. 7 targets in the last 2 games. Seems to be Trevor Lawrence's safety net. I like Brenton Strange this week. He's an easy start for me. The album sucks. There's a wild songs about Travis Kelce. Oh, really? Maybe that's why my daughter doesn't like it. I don't know. Is Brenton Strange a buy, sell, or hold in Dynasty? He's a hold. Because I don't know. And what I mean by that is it's still early on in the season. Liam Cohen really doesn't use his tight end often. If you looked at his offenses before, Higbee was never a thing in the Rams. K-Dot was only a thing when Big Mike and Godwin went down. Once those players came back, K-Dot faded to the background. I'm not sure how Liam Cohen's going to continue this offense moving forward. It seems like Strange is more of a, well, Hunter's not open. Brian Thomas Jr. is not open. I guess we got Brenton Strange here. He's not really the first option there. He's definitely a hold. But if you could sell him for a second or something like that, I'd do it, especially if you're good at tight end. But he's definitely a start tonight. Start with caution. Travis Kelce is a tight end 22, averaging 9 fantasy points per game. He has not had 3. This is going to sound crazy. You're going to go, Josh. Nobody does this, but it's Travis Kelce. There was literal years where he was double-digit every week. He has not had 3 double-digit finishes in a row since 2024, weeks 8 through 10. He's not doing it this year. He's not that consistent guy anymore. He's actually touchdown dependent now. His target share is down to 16%. He's just not the same guy. Start with caution. In a redraft league, I traded, by the way, just to let you know, I traded Lamar Jackson away. I received Kyler and Brenton Strange back, and I roster Kelce. I did that trade to start Strange tonight because I needed a quarterback bad because he's either win now or be gone. Luckily, I won. Xavier Worthy is questionable tonight. If he does play, I don't think I'm going to play him, but if you're going to start him, start with caution. And Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver 54. Only 1 game over 50 yards on the season. Week 3 versus Houston. Start with caution. That's all I can say. Start with, and I know you're going to start him. Everyone is. Nobody's benching him. But man, it's been brutal. Travis Hunter, 15.2% snap share. He's a bench. He's a, you can in redraft, you can drop him. He's only running 24 routes a game. His first read target is only 12.2%, 79th in the league. He is not a part of that offense. I don't watch Jacksonville clearly or close enough to know this, but the experiment of playing 2 ways has got to end. Pick a side because you're too talented to be mid on both sides. Pick a side. Be great at one thing. Don't be mid at both. Isaiah Pacheco is someone you could bench. 7 carries last week. He did have a touchdown, under 48 total yards in 4 straight games. Those are your players to watch for tonight. Jamie says Hunter has been sucking in the IDP league. I have. Yes. Telling you, man. When you think you could do both, that's great. I understand you think you could do it. Everyone think they should be the best at whatever they don't want to do. But the bottom line is the coaching staff needs to protect himself from himself. Listen, no one's going to get this analogy, but when Chris Jericho was in the WWE or WCW, he was the best and most entertaining wrestler of all time, in my opinion. Chris Jericho was awesome. Everything he did, all of his gimmicks were great under Vince McMahon in the WWE machine. He goes to AEW. He gets his own ideas. He gets to do his own creative control. He gets to pick his own storylines. He gets to pick his own gimmicks. They all suck. They all suck. You know why? Because he didn't have the machine protecting him from himself. He didn't have Vince McMahon going, that's not a good idea, Chris. Maybe we should do this instead. And then it becomes a hit. Now he has Tony Khan going, yes, Chris, anything you want, Chris. Anything you want. You want to do this, Chris? You can do anything you want, Chris. And now we have this Chris Jericho. Not good. Some people just need to be managed. And I understand some people don't want to be managed or be controlled. But some people need to be told, hey, Travis Hunter, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe we should be sticking you in the slot. Let's make you an offensive threat. Or let's pick you in the DB. Let's make you play this whole double time. I'm sorry. It's not working out. But I will say this. Thank you to every single person watching the show. We have a bunch of you watching right now. If you are watching live on the YouTubes, hit the like button. If you're on Finns Talk Sports Network, I appreciate the like over there. If you're on Fantasy Now Plus, I would appreciate the like over here. Tell a friend. We're here every single Monday, 9 a.m. Cold brews and hot takes where we just talk trash about players. We just have fun. We let it loose. I don't let my hair down because you guys don't want to see that. I am growing the beard out. Spoiler alert. Halloween, I'm being Jack Black from Minecraft. I'm going to be Steve. So I'm growing the beard out. I don't think I'm going to make it as big as his. But we still got about, I can't do math right now, about 27, 24 more, somewhere in there. 25, 24, 27 more days to go till Halloween. So I'm trying to be Steve. My son's a big Minecraft guy. He's got the costume, diamond armor, diamond sword. I said, well, I am Steve. It's going to be awesome. So shout out. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I think Justin, what are you going to be this year, Justin? I think we should do a Halloween show this year. It's going to be fun times. Thank you to everybody watching. We'll be back next week. Until then, peace out, be good, and stop ordering iced coffee. Stop. It's cold brews. And this has been Hot Takes with Josh Kimmel. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.